All right, Miss Kristen, you sent me a message. Carl, I want to do a podcast episode on Belgian draft horses. So
And
first,
well,
wait,
yes,
go ahead.
I do. But
So,
I got on this subject. I know this is so random for me. I'm obsessed with the Clydesdales. Do you know those big horses in the Budweiser commercials?
yeah. Here at Busch Gardens, which is just down the road from me, they have the Clydesdale. So is
Yeah.
that what is the Clydesdales? Is that what a Belgian draft horse is?
Probably not, but I don't know. Somehow, like that got looped into what I was looking at because I just love the Clydesdales and I'm obsessed with them. So my husband's from St. Louis, Missouri, and that is the home of the Anheuser-Busch company. It's now InBev. It was purchased out, but anyway, so a they have a reserve there called Grant's Farm. And
Okay.
one time when we were visiting, we were going through Grant's Farm, and it's just an animal preserve, right? You take a nice little train ride. It's great for the kids. And at the end of this ride, you get two Anheuser-Busch beverages, right? So it was fun. It was a nice little event, but I just happened to be there when the Clydesdales were there. And these horses are enormous, like way taller than you. You just don't know. So since then, I've been obsessed with
So you
Clydesdales.
told me this little story. So you told me this little story. So
Yeah.
tell the story and then let's break it down.
All right. So the story is that a Clydesdale can pull 8,000 pounds. Just one Clydesdale can pull 8,000 pounds, right?
Which just to put that in equivalency, that's like two good sized cars,
Yeah,
maybe
like a
three
ton, massive,
big.
powerful horses, right?
Okay. All right.
So
So
here,
8,000
yeah,
pounds. Okay.
8,000 pounds. But if you put two Clydesdales together next to one another, how much do you
Okay.
think they can pull?
Well, I guess you got one doing 8,000, you got the other doing 8,000. There's probably a little bit of loss of them working together. So you'd say eight and eight would be 16, maybe, I don't know, 14,000 maybe.
22 to 32,000 pounds.
Wait a minute. Wait. So if you get one, it's 8,000. So you'd think two, if they were perfect, would be 16, but it's not 16, it's
It's
22 to
22.
32.
Yeah.
So two together
Mhm.
pull better than one plus one. So it's like one plus one equals almost four.
Mhm.
It's
Isn't that
interesting.
crazy?
That is.
It's just and it just got me thinking, right? The power of teamwork. You always call it running in the draft with other people,
Yeah.
getting in the draft with other people who are doing what you're doing, people who are pulling in the same direction. And so there's this in the article I was reading, there's this African proverb. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
So let me make sure I got that. If I want to go fast, go alone. If I want to go far, go together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could see that. So if I'm in the long haul to make have a huge impact, then
Yeah.
doing it together with a team. So I guess what that would like if I go, all right, how does that tie into loans? I'm thinking, well, when I got my first assistant,
Mm-hmm.
her name is Jeanette, and I have to tell you, it wasn't instant magic.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, at first, it might have actually slowed me down for a couple days,
Okay.
because I had to train her, and she knew what she was doing, right? But like, here's how we do it here, and here's the lock desk information, and here's the underwriter we use over here. So she had to learn our buttons and where things are at.
Yeah.
And so the time I spent training did take a little bit of time. In my case, if I remember right, it was just really just a handful of days. But I have to tell you, once we got in sync,
Mm-hmm.
man, it was like hooking up that second, Clydesdale horse. So
Yeah.
suddenly, I wasn't just pulling my weight; we were pulling way more weight together than I could have ever done. I had more time to make my outbound calls, meet with
Yeah.
agents, build relationships that grew my pipeline. And and that's when my income started growing exponentially. I just got a message from a lady that came to, her name's Jonna, and she's going to be, we're going to do an episode of the podcast with her here.
Hmm.
And she came to the boot camp last February, just got in the business 2 months before. And so here it is, not quite a year. I think we're like 10 months into it, something like that. And she just sent me a message for the first quarter of this year. So that'd be what month, just off the top of my head, month 7, 8, 9, something like that. Uh, she earned 74 grand,
Wow.
$74,000 as a loan officer. And get this, she was a music teacher. I think high school. Like, so she was a high school music teacher. And in the first quarter, she made, I'm assuming, I don't know what high school music teachers get.
Probably what she made in an entire year
Yeah. Hmm.
as a high school music
Hmm.
teacher.
Hmm. And she told me it was, it was doing the data success plan, and and doing it in focused amount of time. So I'm assuming, there had to be some, well, I know there was some help there because her she works with her husband. He's a loan officer too. And anyway, all right. So I guess the moral of the story is it's better to go together as a team.
Mhm.
There might be a small decrease for the first week as we're just learning how to dance together. Um, but we'll go a lot further with some help. Hey there. Hey, if you're loving the tips so far, be sure to hit that subscribe button right down there and then tap the little bell so that you never miss out on more free, cool tips coming your way. Also, I would love to hear from you. Drop a comment beneath there. Let me know what you think or tell me what you'd like to hear next.
It got me thinking about like just surrounding yourself with people who are kind of going in the same direction as you, and how much quicker could you get there when you're with people who are all working towards their prospecting and making their calls, and like we do on the Breakfast Club every morning, right? You
You
got a
know,
whole group of people there.
I have to tell you, I find one of the biggest things about flying with a team, and honored to be your wingman on this team, that a big part of my push is I think of you're counting on me.
Hmm.
And that weighs in a good way. That weighs I don't know. See, I was going to say weigh. It doesn't weigh on me. It motivates me. Just like another way of looking at it is like it's like like your family. Your family's not a burden on you, but you want to do good for your family.
Yeah.
And these days, I'm doing pretty good there, and I know you are too. So these days, it's not so much that because we're in pretty good shape. Now it's like my team's counting on me, Kristen's counting on me, and I know you say the same thing. Carl's counting on me, right? And I think that's a big part of flying together as a flock, or
Hmm.
pulling as a pack of horses.
Hmm.
Is here? I'll give you another one.
Okay.
So geese, when they fly in formation, they do that because they get lift from each other and they fly further and faster when they're flying as a flock. And also they get safety that they're less likely to get a hawk come down and grab one because there's a whole flock there, right? Um, did you know that when they're flying, you know how you hear the honking?
Yes.
The one in the lead is not honking. It's
So the one in
all
the lead
the,
isn't, but everybody else is.
yeah, that's right. Everybody else is, and because they're encouraging that, because see, the leader is out in the front,
Mm,
and they don't get the lift from the others, right? And so they rotate. Like the one that's in front, he'll then, or he or she will then peel off and rotate in the back and work themselves up, and then they'll be front and then peel off. And so when they're in the front, they don't have the lift of the team. The team is encouraging them with the honking. Come on, you can do it. We got this. Hang in there. your turn's almost done and you can rest for a little bit, and I'm going to take over the front for you. And it's that constant cycling. It's called a peloton, just like in bicycling. And
Mm.
that constant peloton action of the flock of geese is why they go further faster because they're only out front for a short period of time, and they're getting the encouragement of the team, and so they're definitely going faster and further together as a team. Isn't that kind of cool?
It's very cool. I
Yeah.
just think it's such a neat thing to think about that. All right, so
Well, you know
I
what's
used to
funny is
do this by myself, but
but here's what's funny is these geese know this intuitively. They didn't have to get trained on it. Us super smart humans, we got to read a book about it, right? And they
yeah,
go,
you're probably right.
if I work with a bunch of other high performing people, I'll do even better. I'll be as smart as a goose. Isn't that funny? Geese, goose,
Smart as
yeah,
a goose.
goose. Isn't that
Boy,
cool? Well, that's fascinating. So I would have not have thought that these horses can pull
me
more
neither.
together collectively. I wonder why that is. I wonder if there's a like actual physics to it, or I wonder if it's the same thing as the geese, where they're
Well,
encouraging each other to try even harder.
I mean, they did talk about a little bit of physics, which, that's some of this stuff is a little bit over my head, but they did talk a little bit about, I don't remember what, some kind of friction, something or other. But, I think it just had me like realizing like when we surround ourselves with people who are all growing their business and working their scripts and past clients and making their calls, and it's like you can just pick up different ideas from them and you hear different things, and it's just you're going to go farther faster.
You know what? I think kind of one of the things I like a part of the take home message here is the old myth of the lone wolf. It's just
Mm-hmm.
that it's a myth that the
Myth,
real strength is on a team because in reality wolves travel in packs. Did you
right?
see? So we're gonna title this the Animal Kingdom. So the African painted, I think they're called the African painted dogs. Have you ever heard of them or ever seen them?
No.
Oh, these things are amazing. So there are these dogs. They're in Africa, very colorful. They kind of look like what is an Appaloosa horse, where
Hmm.
they're all different colors. So they kind of look like that. And these things have, I think it's like an 87% win rate. Like when they're chasing something, they got an 87% chance of having dinner tonight if whatever they're chasing. And just as an
Good
FYI, I
odds.
think like a cheetah is like 8%.
Oh boy.
And so it's almost, yeah, almost 10 times higher um, because they work as a pack. And
Mm.
it's that same sort of thing. If one gets ostracized from the pack, yeah, it doesn't work out so well. Because go on Netflix and there's a little episode on these African
I knew
painters.
this was going to be a Netflix documentary from you.
It was fascinating. It was really fascinating. So, all right. So I guess our take home message that we want to tell people is that you know, um, maybe it's time to start thinking about a full-time loan officer assistant or part-time.
Mhm.
Maybe it's time to join a group like our Call Stars that we meet every Monday through Thursday and we prospect collectively together each morning. But whatever it is, stop trying to do it alone. And cause the magic happens when we all start pulling in the same direction and when somebody else is beside us. And Kristen, it's just an honor to be on your pack team and
Likewise.
to be doing what we do side by side. We're definitely better together. So good message today.
Oh, thanks, Carl.
Yeah. Anything else? We good?
I think we're good.
All right. So you're going to hear a great ad with Kristen coming on here at the end, and so whatever says, go do that. And yeah, we're better together. That's a real
We
thing.
are better
We're better
together.
together. So, all right, we'll see you on the inside, and check out the little ad and go to the site that Kristen tells you to go to.
Take care, everybody.